Okie doke, here we go. Cornelius Nepos, Pausanias 3. But he, not much after, of his own accord, returned to the army. And there, not in a cunning way, made open his plans, but rather with a demented rationale or reasoning. For it was not only the mores of his fatherland, the customs of his fatherland, but even the cult and the vestitum, so the clothing and the culture, he mutavited, he changed. 2. He used ablatives. He used apparatus regio. So he was using royal apparatus, Medic vest or clothing. He had satellites, Medes and Egyptians. These were attendants who followed him. He would epulabato. He would have epulas, which are feasts, in the way of the Persians. More luxurious than those who were there and present were able to bear, perpetuae posent. 3. An additum, approach to those seeking, patentibusing, convening, coming together and meeting with him, he did not give. So he didn't give any approach to people seeking to come to meet him. He would respond superbly, arrogantly, and he would give orders crudelita, like in English, crudely or cruelly, would say. He was not wanting to return to Sparta. Colonas, some place, which is a place in the land of Troad, he contulerated himself. He took himself to this place, and there he took conciliums, which are neuter plurals. He took plans which were inimica, which were hostile or bad for his country, his fatherland, and for himself. Sibi. 4. This, after the Lacedaemonians rescissoranted it, they learnt it, they sent to him legates with a clava, which is usually a club or something, there's more to it, in which was written in their mores of them, in their custom, that unless he returned home, they would condemn him with capital crime, with his head. They were going to kill him. So I'll just read from the lobe. It says I guess it's in Greek, but the clava, it's a means of secret communication used by the Spartan ephors. When a king or general left home, he was given a staff. When they wished to communicate him, they wound a narrow strip of leather in a spiral around the staff and wrote their message along the length of the staff. When the thong was unrolled, only detached letters or fragments were seen, but the person addressed could read the message by using his staff. See Gellius, Attic Nights. 5. Commodus, moved by this announcement, and hoping himself, even then, with money and power, instance posse, he'd be able to repel or get rid of this pressing danger. So he returned home. To there, as he got there, by the ephors, he was conjectus, he was thrown into the public chains or jail. 4. By the laws of them, okay, so licit takes the dative, it can be to any ephor to do this under the public laws for a king. So anyone who's being a king, so they can chuck him in jail under their laws. Hinc tamen expedited say. So he got out of this. He released himself, nevertheless, henceforth. But neither, all the more, was he lacking in suspicion. For the opinion remained that he had a society or some sort of alliance with the king, Persian king. The lobe has, Pausanias was a guardian of the young king Pleistatus, and hence he was acting as a regent. So that's why they could do this to someone who was a king or acting on behalf of a king, maybe. 6. There is a certain genus of men, certain type of men, who are called helots. I remember this from school, of which there's a great multitude of them, which collet can be used for praising or cultivating the fields of the Lacedaemonians. Fungator, they perform the ablative, they perform the duty of slaves. It is thought, these accusatives, these also he was soliciting them with the hope of liberty, with the hope of freedom. 7. Said quod, but because none of these things were an open crime, wasn't clear cut, in which it would be able to be argued that he'd done something wrong. They didn't think that concerning such and so famous a man ought to be judged with these suspicions, so they thought they would expectandum, so they would wait while the matter itself opened itself up, or while the matter itself became more apparent, or anyway, for interim. In medieval it means sometimes as well, but classically it means meanwhile. There was a certain adolescent called Argilius, whom Pausanias had delighted very much, had loved very much, with a venereal type of love, this boy. When he had a letter from him to Artabasanum, so he'd received this letter to take to this guy, and there came into him some suspicion that there was something scriptum concerning himself, there was something written concerning himself, and because no one of these messengers had returned, who over the same sort of cause had been sent, the same sort of reason had been sent, he laxated the bindings of the letter, and with the signo detracto, taking off the signet, he understood that if he petulated this lesson, if he'd actually taken this letter to where it was supposed to go, himself periandum to be, he would die. For there was in the same letter things which pertain to him, or to this, in that amongst the king and Pausanias there'd been a common venerant, there'd been a meeting or some sort of thing. Has literus, these letters he handed over to the ephors. So Ilis the nominative, has literus are the accusatives. It shouldn't be passed by, non est praetorunda, the gravitas of the Spartans, the Lacedaemonians, in this place or in this situation, for ne quidem, not even this indico, which is usually a bit of a witness or something of him, not even this thing that was brought to bear of him, this impulsed them that they should apprehend Pausanias, or give him the final judgment. And neither prior should force be applied, they were thinking, than if he himself indicated himself, than if he gave himself away. And so I should pick a word here to periondum will do for the daily dictionary. We just go bloop, 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 periondum. It's a gerund. Oh well, maybe it's not. Use this site. Periondum, perio. There's all the present subjunctives. Gerunds are down here. Infinitives are there. Translation. To die, pass away, be ruined, be destroyed, to go to waste. And that's it.